Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about Feed Them Silence by Lee Mandelo. Now, as y'all know, I was a great fan of Mandelo's first book, the novel Summer Suns. It was one of the earliest books that we covered here on Bar Cart Bookshelf, and I am so excited to get to talk about Lee's new novella, Feed Them Silence, here on the book's release date. It is just one of those wonderfully oozy, chilling, sort of sordid sci-fi horror things that we like here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. The kind that makes you feel complicit in something that's a little bit grimy, the way that Sam J. Miller's The Blade Between does, or Laura Elena Donnelly's Bass Notes. Just a really lovely, in a distressing way, sort of novella. Feed Them Silence is a sci-fi horror set in the near future in northern Minnesota. It follows Dr. Shankell Ludden, a scientist who is working to develop neural connections and neural pathways between humans and wolves. This idea, or how it's pitched, is this is going to increase people's empathy for the plight of the American wolf here. You know, we're, 20, 30 years in the future, things have gotten at a climate level worse, and this is really going to help things out. You know, it's going to build empathy the way that, like, these World Wildlife Foundation things, videos of little baby pandas do. Like, if you can be the wolf, you can care about the wolf in the community. But of course, you know, it's a little more complicated than that, and the fascination is a little less healthy than pure altruism. It's an exploration of a determined scientist, a middle-aged woman who is a mad scientist sort of archetype, a look into the funding of academic research, scientific research, and the ways in which two determined people and two academic marriages can sort of intermesh with each other in difficult ways. You know, academic marriages where you have two academics who have gotten married have a higher rate of divorce than the standard population, and we get to see an interesting exploration of that between Dr. Cal Ludden and her wife, Raya. So we've got just these wonderful intersections of queer identity and of academia and of, like, the ways in which we live our lives and live our work in a way that I think is sort of a hallmark of Mandelo's writing and the work that he's doing. And so it was a book that not only was I delighted to get to read early, but that I could not wait to do a drink for. A nice, short little evening read, definitely one that you want to, you know, block out a couple of hours on a dark night, as we are here in these days that sometimes are colder than they should be, sometimes are warmer than they should be. And the drink that you're going to want for that is the Living in Kind. So, the idea, as I've said, behind the novella is that they're living in kind with these wolves by interfacing with their neural pathways, being a wolf, thinking like a wolf, and that's described as living in kind. I'm going to get 1 ounce of rye whiskey to start. And so I wanted to get something that's sort of woodsy, but also a little bit wintry because we're here in northern Minnesota. Even though the weather is warming up, we see this as a sort of problem of empathy when the wolves are having difficulty hunting. And so we've got our rye whiskey, which the one that I'm using is made here in Kentucky, but is something that I think of as one of these like iconically northern grains, something that's going to bring a bit of that in as well. And we're going to get an ounce of that. And then we are going to get half an ounce of the Amaro Alta Verde. As I said, something sort of woodsy, herbal. This is an Amaro, a bittersweet liqueur, and there's definitely a high degree of bittersweetness in Feed Them Silence. It's not an ingredient that we use all the time, but when we do, I think it really sticks. Like I said, this is a story that's reminiscent of Laura Elena Donnelly's Bass Notes, though very different. And having this as a shared ingredient between the two, I think, is an avenue for exploration of metatextual connections through the medium of drink. So we're fun and cool here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. So we've got half an ounce of that bittersweet Amaro, woodsy, bitter, herbal, delicious. And then half an ounce of honey syrup. Lovely. And finally, this is sort of a digestif dessert drink, and so we're going to get a full ounce of heavy cream. Because when you're a wolf in a world where it's increasingly difficult to hunt, you need all the bulking you can get. So we're going to get that nice heavy cream in there. And we'll add our ice. Lovely. And we're shaking it up. Get a better seal on that. There we go. Lovely. Then a nice stout tap. Open it up. Beautiful, frothy, foamy. And as we like to do when we've got these heavy cream dessert cocktails, we are going to double strain that into our glass. Lovely. Perfect. Set that aside. And so there you have it. This is the Living in Kind, inspired by Lee Mandelo's Feed Them Silence. The vibes are toxic in the best possible way. I truly can't think of a better evening that I've had in the past 6 months than the night that I spent reading Feed Them Silence. It will chill you. It will thrill you. It's available now in a link in the description below. We also have a link to the Boston Shaker where we get all of our tools and ingredients to various forms of social media, including Twitter and Instagram, where there's a written version of today's recipe. Please try the drink. Let me know what you think. Check out Feed Them Silence. If you're local to Louisville, Lee Mandelo will be doing an event at Carmichael's Books here in town tomorrow evening on Wednesday the 15th. I will be attending, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, until next time, cheers.